any chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
It's on it. It's on it. It's been talks. It's been talks. It's possible.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
You ready? Canelo, just one, please. Guys, we gotta go. We don't. Can you elaborate on why Crawford is better than Mayweather? Just a little bit of detail.
Oh, he can switch. He's very smart guy. He's better.
Terence "Bud" Crawford, the undefeated pound-for-pound king, has made his position clear. He has openly called out Floyd Mayweather and says he's ready to risk his perfect record. Crawford is at his peak now and does not want to show a match. He wants a true fight with real stakes at this stage of his career today, with nothing held back.
He said afterwards, you are better than Floyd Mayweather.
I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
When you heard that, what did you think?
I just was like, well, you know, it's his personal opinion. He was in the ring with both of us, so a lot of people say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us. You know, one where he felt like he was at the best, you know, another where he felt like he was at a disadvantage when he had a rehydration clause and he was younger. So, you know, I don't know. I don't go on for that.
One rumor has sparked talk of a possible fight between Terence Crawford and Floyd Money Mayweather. It included a request that could force Mayweather to risk what he values more than wealth, his perfect, unbeaten legacy. Terence Crawford fight with Saul Canelo Alvarez shook the boxing world. This was the exact moment Crawford had been waiting for. It marked the end of a long and frustrating road, a journey where he was often labeled as the most avoided fighter in the sport.
I feel I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out. From Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't do
obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not.
Kovalev was older. He does.
Billy Joe.
Does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power, but all those guys that you named is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is night and day.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo go?
It's a tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always had respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching them, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too. It'll be good.
After a long and painful road, he finally stated that if the career-defining fight with Terrell Spence never took place, then he would walk away from boxing completely and retire for good without looking back.
It happened. If not, then, you know, it just be one of those fights that go down in history that didn't happen. You know, it's numerous of fights that didn't happen. Do I want the fight? Absolutely, yes. Have I tried to make the fight? Absolutely, yes. Do I want the fight after this fight? Absolutely, yes. Like, of course, you know, but if it doesn't happen, then it's out of my power. I can't, you know, make the man fight. I can't make the man, you know, go against, you know, what he stands for with his team and all that. So, you know, it is what it is. But I'm going to continue to do what I do.
How was this particular weight cut? Was it a very difficult one, or did you feel at ease with the weight cut?
I mean, it's always difficult, but, you know, like I said, I don't make any excuses. The better man won tonight.
At last on the biggest stage, he showed exactly why he beat Canelo and made history by becoming the first male fighter of the four-belt era to stay unbeaten while winning titles across 3 different weight divisions.
This is the situation, guys. No one has ever been a 4-division champion in boxing. Not a real one. Oh, Pacquiao won 8 and Oscar De La Hoya won 11 and this one won 15. No, I'm talking about Ring Magazine champ or lineal champ. You are the champion of that division.
Get them all.
Forever, the record was 3 by Henry Armstrong. Manny Pacquiao was the first dude to really win 4. Floyd gets credit for 4 for beating Canelo, but that wasn't at the junior middleweight limit. I don't count that.
Right.
I don't count that.
Right.
Terence Crawford just joined Manny Pacquiao as the only legit 4-division champion in the history of boxing. Legit. And he did it by jumping middle. He came lightweight, junior welter, then he won a belt at junior middle, not the whole championship, and then skipped middle to fight Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed, for the Ring Magazine super middleweight championship of the world, and left no doubts, including with Canelo, who was all class after the fight but knew what had just happened.
The win sealed his status as the pound-for-pound leader in the sport. The most shocking moment came after the final bell during the post-fight press conference. A respectful and humbled Canelo Alvarez, who had faced two legends in the ring, delivered a statement that caught everyone by surprise and added even more weight to the moment.
And lastly, for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather was a master at landing punches while staying untouched, but his greatness goes beyond numbers and records. His identity is built on the carefully crafted TBE brand, which many consider the greatest boxing brand ever created and maintained at the highest level.
We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything.
Okay.
He have everything. You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just no let me.
How did Canelo words affect a man with such a powerful ego? How could he sit back and watch Crawford achieve something he never did? Becoming an undisputed champion in 3 weight divisions and not feel even a small sense of challenge or pride rising inside him.
Disputing your story,
Sure.
but I can see the money getting crazy after that.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, you'll see reports. You mentioned 100 million for Floyd. The reports are 130. First off, he's never gotten 100 million for a fight, not even remotely close. But there's reports of 130.
Wow.
There's reports online that Floyd's a billionaire. There's reports that he was the highest paid athlete in this year and this over Christian Ronaldo.
You think it's bullshit?
I know it is. And there's public companies they do business with. HBO would be one of them. Find an executive to back the claim. It's never happened and it won't be.
When there's a percentage split between Floyd and Pacquiao, I'll just say this. On the Monday after the fight, we wired him an advance, and the advance was $100 million. Someone comes to me with a 9-figure check and says, we need your signature in order to release this.
Wow.
And that's when it set in. It's like, wow, we're at a different level.
Yeah. This is the same fighter whose career was often questioned by voices like Max Kellerman because of his very careful choice of opponents after moving past lightweight. Many wondered if it was fear or the smart planning of a master strategist protecting his legacy. That debate now carries a fresh meaning and feels more relevant than ever before.
They say Floyd did it in 4, but he had a weight stipulation where Canelo couldn't weigh in as a full junior middleweight. I don't count that. That's not a junior middleweight. That's 3 for Floyd.
What do you have to say to that?
I had one fight, and the fight wasn't actually at a catch weight. It was at a catch weight, but it wasn't my idea. Canelo at one particular time thought I was scared of him, that I was afraid. So he said, Floyd don't want to fight me. I'm willing to meet him at 152 pounds or 152 and a half. And me, I called his bluff and said, if you want to do it, let's do it at 152. But after Canelo made the weight, it wasn't like it was a certain clause to where he couldn't gain weight. So after he weighed 152 or 152 and a half, I think he came in like 168 or close to 170.
And actually, I came in at probably like I probably came in at 151 and 152.
In an unexpected turn, the same careful planner recently placed a surprising bet on the man seen as his biggest danger. When Crawford stepped in against Canelo, Floyd quietly backed Bud with a $50,000 wager. That decision paid off in a big way, bringing him a profit of $124,000 and raising even more questions about his true feelings toward the fight.
Was yes, I saw you placed a bet, won a lot of money. Congratulations. What are your thoughts? What was your reaction to the fight, Floyd, as you watched Bud and Canelo in there on Saturday?
Oh, it's good for boxing. It was exciting. The best man won.
Is Canelo washed up now at 35 years old?
Oh, I don't know. Boxing is a lot of wear and tear on the body. Maybe so.
It was a typical money move, but fans questioned if it was purely smart business or if he recognized real potential in Crawford as a threat. It felt like a final major challenge to his own legacy. Canelo words added fuel to the fire, and the boxing world erupted with debate and differing opinions.
Crawford, believe Crawford, even though fought twice, throughout the year. Crawford, was. But look who he beat. Undisputed. Look who he beat. Look who he beat. What he did to Spence, and how he did it. That's 3 fights to me. And it took 4 fights out of Spence, right? Yeah, I'm a fighter, so I can tell you when you get punished like that.
Yeah, I was there ringside watching the fight.
It takes a few years out of you. Don't see the years right now, but it sort of takes something out of that person going forward. They still can beat some fights, but it really put a bruise on them. You didn't see Spence fight yet, did you? No. Did you hear him name opponent for him to potentially fight? It's been quiet. You see the weight he gained?
Bud's performance last week, man. What'd you think of Bud's performance last week?
Man, great. Bud always been like that. But I would question South. You know what I'm saying?
South. You think there's anything left for him, coach, or is it time for Bud to move on? Or
I'm trying to figure out who he gonna fight next.
160, you can see him probably going to 160.
I would be up crazy. He looked at excellent. He looked at excellent.
The idea of a prime Crawford facing a prime Mayweather split, both experts and fans. The more you analyze it, the trickier the matchup looks. Floyd Mayweather, despite his skill, showed weaknesses against quick southpaws, especially in the early rounds against Jose Luis Castillo, and more clearly against Asoji Judah. Crawford is not just a southpaw. He is a hunting-style switch hitter, a far more dangerous and flexible challenge than a typical southpaw could ever be.
As Canelo Alvarez has been a great fighter his whole career, people like Erislandy Lara gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. People like Floyd Mayweather also gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. But Bud is more fierce, more fearsome, and more angrier, and more meaner than both of those guys. So if they showed you the blueprint, Bud gonna go out there, take that blueprint, and do even more with it, which is what Bud did. So it was never a question in my mind whether Bud really was going to outbox me. It's just if he could take the punch. And right away he showed, bam, he could take the punch. So I know from that point, if he just slow him down, which he did, he'd be okay. Then late in the fight, what other people still didn't see, late in the fight, Bud started hitting Canelo's body. One of those body shots, I think about the 7th or 8th round, hurt Canelo. I was like, whoa. Bud hit him in the right spot then. He got Canelo's respect with that too. So Bud fought a very, very awesome fight, fought a beautiful fight, very tactical.
Very controlled.
Yes, it was a beautiful fight for boxing.
It was a beautiful fight. Bud got hit with some shots.
He did. He got hit with some single shots going out. He's going out and
Canelo, if he has you trapped in the corner or along the ropes, it's typically 1 to 2 big shots. You know that if you've watched him.
Yep.
So you could tell Crawford, as he was going out, he knew the one shot was coming, and several times it landed. He even got hit with a 2-piece. I don't remember what round it was, uppercut right hand that Crawford took well. So when you started seeing him absorb the shots, if you're Team Crawford, you don't want him to take that shot. But if you started seeing that, now you know that, okay. And I think that's what gave Crawford the green light to stay there a little bit longer.
He smiled about it.
Yeah. And sometimes that smile can be a lie. And sometimes that smile can mean what I think it meant for Crawford, which is, oh, that's not as bad as I thought it was.
This sets up a fascinating battle of boxing intelligence. Mayweather brilliance lies in control, managing risk, and trapping opponents in a defensive maze they cannot break free from. Crawford brilliance is hunting and flexible. He studies his opponents carefully in the early rounds, reads every move, and then dismantles them methodically over the course of the fight.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, I'm leaning Bud. Yeah,
he's slick, man.
Yeah.
He's slick. He's super intelligent. Like, he sets traps. He does stuff, and then, you know, there's a bunch of great breakdown videos of particularly the Errol Spence fight, like him setting traps. It's just, he's a very high level guy, but Canelo is dangerous. He broke Billy Joe Saunders' whole face. Broke his whole face. What he did to Amir Khan. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Oh, lordy. Oh, lordy. And never been down. Never been dropped.
Yeah, Canelo's a stud.
Yeah, Terence.
Yeah. Canelo, I may be the only one. I thought you won the fight. I scored it for you.
You know, we need to accept it. We need to accept it. No matter what, in the scorecard, we lost it.
Well, you're the best. You're the number one fighter in the world.
Thank
and
you.
I think keep shining. You're the champion. You want the rematch, Canelo?
Could Crawford's sharp and flexible mind solve the Mayweather puzzle when 50 others failed? When asked about it, Crawford gave a direct and confident answer. Meanwhile, Floyd's Uncle Jeff Mayweather maintains that Floyd's defense and skill remain unmatched and without equal in the sport.
Also, if we remember, you know, Canelo, that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course.
Yeah, nobody had it.
And that was
but drop cheap.
And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, you know, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20 something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, I'm still very, very young in the game, obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost. Yeah, but man, that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people.
But his career. But are you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
Want to
make himself look like he did something great.
The serious condition being talked about is not some hidden, complicated contract detail. It is a clear but powerful demand that strikes at the heart of Floyd Mayweather's post-retirement legacy. To understand how serious it is, imagine another rumored dream fight between Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr. In that scenario, Jones made the same demand. He would only face Floyd in a real sanctioned professional fight, not an exhibition. This is the same uncompromising standard that applies to any potential Crawford matchup. The condition is tough because it would force Mayweather to leave the safety of show matches and step into a real fight, risking his perfect 50-0 record, the very foundation of his claim as the greatest ever.
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah, we ain't going out that much.
Now, since stepping away from the ring in 2017, Mayweather has only taken part in high-paying exhibition fights against everyone from YouTubers to MMA fighters. These events are carefully controlled to keep his perfect record intact. Crawford's call for a real sanctioned fight would make Mayweather risk everything he has built against an undefeated dominant champion in his prime. Even if Crawford issued such a bold demand, who could possibly afford the enormous cost to make it happen?
Great fights never take place, or they take place too late, like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. They fought too late. I mean, if that fight could have been arranged by Riyadh Season, they probably would have caught them both in their prime, and it would have been chaos.
Yeah, Manny was done before that ever started.
And he also had a blown shoulder going into the fight. Yeah. He needed shoulder surgery before the fight even started.
The answer lies in the changing world of global boxing. We are now in the era of fights once thought impossible. Visionaries with vast resources from places like Saudi Arabia are reshaping the sport and its rules. Matches that used to be stuck in promotional hurdles are now happening quickly with record-breaking purses. This new financial muscle could make a massive showdown possible. On top of that, the rise of streaming giants like Netflix and Amazon Prime has created another opportunity. They're searching for blockbuster events, and a Mayweather fight would be ideal, attracting millions of subscribers worldwide. The money from sovereign funds and streaming platforms would be so enormous that even Floyd Mayweather would have to take notice. But the paths of these two champions were never easy. Both faced intense struggles and controversies that threatened their careers. For years, Terence Crawford's toughest battle was with his own promoter Top Rank. His split from Bob Arum was explosive, ending in a lawsuit where Crawford accused the organization of racial bias and deliberately holding him back from superstardom and the big fights he deserved.
Well, I'm pretty sure my decision is made already. You know, Bob couldn't secure me the Spence fight when I was with him. So how you gonna secure me the Spence fight when I'm not with him? So, you know, I'm moving forward with my career right now, and I wish everybody the best.
The bitter and lonely battle fought in headlines and courtrooms, with Crawford seen as a king standing alone against the boxing establishment. Meanwhile, many critics continue to question Floyd Mayweather's most famous when his record-breaking fight against Manny Pacquiao. The controversy centered on a foreign infusion Mayweather received before the fight to rehydrate. Although he was later granted a retroactive exemption, and it was confirmed the infusion contained no banned substances, the situation left a lasting shadow over those who felt it broke the spirit, if not the letter of anti-doping rules. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos.